안녕하십니까. 2026년 4월 9일 목요일 오후 11시 45분입니다. 강연 TV를 시작하겠습니다. 이번 시간은 구약성경 사무엘하 10 사무엘하 14장 1절부터 영어 성경으로 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. Now Joab, the son of Zeruiah, perceived that the king's heart was toward Absalom. And Joab sent to Goa and fetched thence a wise woman, and said unto her, I pray thee, Phaegon, thyself to be a mourner, and put on now mourning apparel, and anoint not thyself with oil, but be as a woman that had a long time mourned for the dead. And come to the king and speak on this manner unto him. So Joab put the words in her mouth. And when the woman of the Goa spake to the king, she fell on her face to the ground and did obey his sons. And said, help, O king. And the king said unto her, what is thee? And she answered, I am indeed a widow woman, and mine business is dead. And thy handmaid had two sons, and they two stove together in the field, and there was none to part them, but the one smote the other and slew him. And behold, the whole family is risen against thy handmaid, and they said, deliver him that smote his brother, that we may kill him for the life of his brother whom he slew, and we will destroy the hair also, and so they shall quench my coal which is left, and shall not leave to my husband neither name nor remainder upon the earth. And the king said unto the woman, go to thine house, and I will give charge concerning thee. And the woman of the Goa said unto the king, my lord, O king, the iniquity be on me and on my father's house. And the king and his throne be guiltless. And the king said, whosoever says aught unto thee, bring him to me, and he shall not touch thee any more. Then said she, I prayed, let the king remember the road thy God, that thou wouldest not suffer the revengers of abroad to destroy anymore, lest they destroy my son. And he said, as the road arrives, there shall not one hear of thy son for Paul to the song. Then the woman said, let thine handmaid, I pray thee, speak one word unto my lord the king. And he said, say on. And the woman said, wherefore then hast thou sought such a thing against the people of God? For the king does speak this thing as one which is poverty, in that the king does not pitch home again his banished. For we must needs die and as water spirit on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again, neither does God respect any person, yet does he devise means that his banished be not expelled from him. Now therefore that I am come to speak of this thing unto my lord the king, it is because the people have made me afraid, and thy handmaid said, I will now speak unto the king. It may be that the king will perform the request of his handmaid. For the king will hear to deliver his handmaid out of the hand of the man that they would destroy me and my son together out of the inheritance of God. Then thine handmaid said, the word of my lord the king shall now be comfortable. For as an angel of God, so is my lord the king to discern good and bad. Therefore the Lord thy God will be with thee. Then the king answered and said unto the woman, hide not from me, I pray thee, the thing that I shall ask thee. And the woman said, let my lord the king now speak. And the king said, is not the hand of Joab with thee in all this? And the woman answered and said, as thy Israel live son, my lord the king, none can turn to the right hand or to the left from aught that my lord the king has spoken. For thy servant Joab, he obeyed me, and he put all these words in the mouth of thine handmaid. To pitch about this from speech that thy servant Joab done this thing, and my lord is wise according to the wisdom of an angel of God, to know all things that are in the earth. And the king said unto Joab, behold, now I have done this thing. Go therefore, bring the young man Absalom again. And Joab fell to the ground on his face and bowed himself and thanked the king and Joab said, today thy servant knows that I have found grace in thy sight, my Lord. O king, in that the king has fulfilled the request of his servant. So Joab arose and went to Geshur and brought Absalom to Jerusalem. And the king said, let him turn to his own house and let him not see my face. So Absalom returned to his own house and saw not the king's face. But in all Israel there was none to be. So Moses praised as Absalom for his beauty, from the sole of his foot even to the crown of his head. There was no blemish in him. And when he pulled his head, for it was at every year so, and that the pulse pulled it, because the hair was heavy on him. Therefore he pulled it. He weighed the hair of his head at 200 shekels after the king's weight. And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons and 1 daughter, whose name was Tamar. She was a woman of a fair countenance. So Absalom dwelt 2 full years in Jerusalem, and so not at the king's face. Therefore Absalom sent for Joab to have sent him to the king, but he would not come to him. And when he sent again the second time, he would not come. Therefore he said unto his servants, See, Joab's field in near mine. And he has barley there. Go and set it on fire. And Absalom's servants set the field on fire. Joab arose and came to Absalom unto his house, and said unto him, Wherefore have thy servants set my field on fire? And Absalom answered Joab, Behold, I sent unto thee, saying, Come hither, that I may send thee to the king, to say, Wherefore am I come from Geshur? It had been good for me to have been there still. Now therefore let me see the king's face, and if there be any iniquity in me, let him kill me. So Joab came to the king and told him, and when he had called for Absalom, he came to the king and bowed himself on his face to the ground before the king, and the king kissed Absalom. And it came to pass after this, and Absalom prepared him carry also, and horses, and 50 men to run before him. And Absalom rose early and stood beside the way of the gate. And it was so that when any man that had controversy came to the king for judgment. Then Absalom called unto him and said, Of what city art thou? And he said, Thy servant is of one of the tribes of Israel. And Absalom said unto him, She, thy matters are good and right, but there is no man deputed of the king to hear thee. Absalom said, Moreover, that I will made judge in the land, that every man which has any should or cause might come unto me, and I would do his I would do him justice. And it was so that when any man came nigh to him to do him obeisance, he put forth his hand and took him and kissed him, and on this manner did Absalom to all Israel that came to the king for judgment. So Absalom stole the hearts of the men of Israel. And it came to pass after 40 years that Absalom said unto the king, I pray thee, let me go and pay my vow, which I have vowed unto the Lord in Hebron. For thy servant vowed a vow while I abode at Kasur in Syria, saying, If the Lord shall bring me again indeed to Jerusalem, then I will serve the Lord. And the king said unto him, Go in peace. So he arose and went to Hebron. But Absalom sent spies throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, As soon as ye hear the sound of the trumpet, then ye shall say, Absalom lay guns in Hebron. And with Absalom went to 100 men out of Jerusalem that were called, and they went in their simplicity, and they knew not anything. And Absalom sent for he Dobel, the Gironite, David's counselor from his city, even from Gilo, while he offered sacrifices and the conspiracy. Conspiracy was strong, for the people encouraged continually with Absalom. And there came a messenger to David, saying, The hearts of the men of Israel are after Absalom. And David said unto all his servants that were with him at Jerusalem, Arise and let us pray, for we shall not else escape from Absalom. Make speed to depart, lest he overtake us suddenly, and bring evil upon us, and smite the city with the edge of the sword. And the king's servants said unto the king, Behold, thy servants are ready to do whatsoever my lord the king shall appoint. And the king went forth, and all his household after him. And the king left 10 women which were concubines to keep the house. And the king went forth, and all the people after him, and tarried in a place that was far off. And all his servants passed on beside him, and all the care died. And all the Perizzites and all the Kittites, 600 men which came after him from God, passed on before the king. Then said the king to it there the Kittites, wherefore go sit thou also with us, return to thy place, and be aside and abide with the king, for thou art a stranger and also an exile. Whereas thou camest but yesterday, should I this day make thee go up and down with us, seeing I go whither I may return thou, and take back thy brethren, mercy and truth be with thee. And it answered the king and said, as the Lord lives, and as my Lord the king lives, surely in what place my Lord the king shall be, whether in death or life, even there also will thy servant be. And David said to it, go and pass over, and it the Gittite passed over, and all his men, and all the little ones that were with him. And all the country wept with a loud voice, and all the people passed over. The king also himself passed over the brook Kidron, and all the people passed over toward the way of the wilderness. And Sadok also, and all the Levites were with him, bearing the ark of the covenant of God, and they set down the ark of God. And Abiathar went up until all the people had done passing out of the city. And the king said unto Sadok, carry back the ark of God into the city. If I shall find favor in the eyes of the Lord, he will bring me again and shew me both it and his habitation. But if he does say, I have no delight in thee, behold, here am I, let him do to me as seems good unto him. The king said also unto Sadok, the priest, art not to seer, return into the city in peace, and your two sons with you, Ahimaaz thy son, and Jonathan the son of Abiathar. She I will train the plain of the wilderness until there come word from you to certify me. So therefore, and Abiathar carried the ark of God again to Jerusalem, and they tarried there. And David went up by the ascent of a Mount Olivet, and wept as he went up, and had his head covered, and he went barefoot, and all the people that was with him covered every man his head, and they went up weeping as they went up. And one told David, saying, Abi Ahi to Bear is among the conspirators with Absalom. And David said, O Lord, I pray thee, turn the counsel of Ahithophel into foolishness. And it came to pass that when David was come to the top of the mountain where he worshipped God, behold, who said, the archer came to meet him with his quadrant and also upon his head. Unto whom David said, If thou passest on with me, then thou shalt be a burden unto me. But if thou return to the city and say unto Absalom, I will be thy servant, O king, as I have been thy father's servant hitherto, so will I now also be thy servant. Then mayst thou for me defeat the counsel of Ahithophel. And this has though not there with the Sadok and Abiathar the priests. Therefore it shall be that what thing soever thou shalt hear out of the king's house, thou shalt tell it to Sadok and Abiathar the priests. Behold, they have there with them their two sons, Ahimaaz, Sadok's son, and Jonathan, Abiathar's son, and by them ye shall send unto me everything that ye can hear. So who say David's brother came into the city, and Absalom came into Jerusalem. And when David was a little past the top of the hill, behold, Sheba, the servant of Mephibosheth, met him with a couple of asses, settled, and upon them 200 loaves of bread, and 100 bunches of raisins, and 100 of summer fruits, and a bottle of wine. And the king said unto Sheba, What meanest thou by this? And Sheba said, The asses before the king's house hold to ride on, and the bread and summer fruit for the young men to eat, and the wine. That such as be faint in the wilderness may drink. And the king said, and where is thy master's son? And Sheba said unto the king, behold, he abides at Jerusalem. For he said to the Israel, the house of Israel, restore me the kingdom of my father. Then said the king to Sheba, behold, thine are all that pertain unto Mephibosheth. And Sheba said, I humbly beseech thee that I may find grace in thy sight, my lord, O king. And when King David came to Bahurim, behold, thence came out a man of the family of the house of Saul, whose name was Shimei, the son of Gera. He came forth and cursed still as he came. And he cast stones at David and at all the servants of King David, and all the people and all the mighty men were on his right hand and on his left. And those said, Shimei, when he cursed, come out, thou bloody man, and thou man of Belial. The Lord has returned upon thee, or the word of the house of Saul, in whose stead thou hast reckoned, and the Lord has delivered the kingdom into the hand of Absalom, thy son. And behold, thou art taken in thy mischief, because thou art a bloody man. Then said Abi said, son of Zeruiah, unto the king, why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Let me go over, I pray thee, and take off his head. And the king said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah? So let him curse, because the Lord has said unto him, curse David, who shall then say, wherefore hast thou done so? And David said to Abis and to all his servants, behold, my son, which came forth of my bowels, seek my life. How much more now may this Benjamite do it? Let him alone, and let him curse, for the Lord has by done him. It may be that the Lord will look on mine affliction, and that the Lord will requite me good for his cursing this day. And as David and his men went by the way, Shimei went along on the hillside over against him, and cursed as he went, and threw stones at him, and cast dust. And the king and all the people that were with him came weary and refreshed themselves there. And Absalom and all the people, the men of Israel, came to Jerusalem, and Ahithophel with him, and they came to Bethel when Hushai the Archite David's friend was come unto Absalom. Then Hussein said unto Absalom, God save the king, God save the king. And Absalom said to Hussein, is this thy kindness to thy friend? Why one artist thou not with thy friend? And Hussein said unto Absalom, nay, but whom the Lord and all these people and all the men of Israel choose his will I be, and with him will I abide. And again, whom should I serve? Should I not serve in the presence of his son, as I have served in thy father's presence, so will I be in thy presence. Then said Absalom to Ahithophel, give counsel among you what we shall do. And Ahithophel said unto Absalom, go in unto thy father's concubines, which he has left to keep the house, and all Israel shall hear that thou art uphold of thy father. Then shall the hands of all that are with thee be strong. So they spread Absalom's tent upon the top of the house, and Absalom went in unto his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel. And the counselor of Ahithophel, which he counseled in those days, was as if a man had inquired at the oracle of God. So was all the counsel of Ahithophel, both with David and with Absalom. Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom, let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I will arise and approach after David this night. And I will come upon him while he is weary and weak-handed, and will make him afraid, and all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only. And I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou kissed is as if all returned, so all the people shall be in peace. And the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. Then said Absalom, call now Hussein the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he says. And when Hussein was come to Absalom, Absalom spake unto him, saying, Ahithophel has spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak thou. And Hussein said unto Absalom, the counsel that Ahithophel has given is not good at this time. For said Hussein, thou knowest thy father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be chief in their minds, as a bear loved of her whelps in the field. and thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. But he is hid now in some pit or in some other place, and it will come to pass when some of them be overthrown at the first, that whosoever hears it will say, there is a slaughter among the people that follow Absalom. And he also that is valiant, whose heart is as the heart of a lion, shall utterly melt. For all Israel knows that thy father is a mighty man, and they which be with him are valiant men. Therefore I counsel that all Israel be generally gathered unto thee from Dan even to Beersheba, as the sand that is by the sea for multitude, and that go to better in thine own person. So shall we come upon him in some place where he shall be found, and we will light upon him as dew for us on the ground, and of him and of all the men that are with him. There shall not be left so much as one. Moreover, if he be gotten into a city, then shall all Israel bring loaves to the city, and we will throw it into the river until there be not one small stone found there. And Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the counsel of Hussey, the Architect, is better than the counsel of Ahithophel, for through he had pointed to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel, to the intent that the Lord might bring a bill upon Absalom. Then said Hussey unto Zadok and unto Abiathar the priests, those and those did Ahithophel counsel Absalom, and the elders of Israel, and those have I counseled. Now therefore send quickly and tell David, saying, lodge not this night in the plains of the wilderness, but speedily pass over, lest the king be swallowed up, and all the people that are with him. Now Jonathan and Ahimaaz stayed by En-Rogel, for they might not be seen to come into the city, and went and told them, and they went and told King David. Nevertheless, read saw them and told Absalom, but they went both of them away quickly, and came to a man's house in Bahurim, which had a well in his court, whither they went down. And the woman took and spread a covering over the well's mouth, and spread ground corn thereon, and the thing was not known. And when Absalom's servants came to the woman to the house, they said, where is Ahimaaz and Jonathan? And the woman said unto them, they be gone over the brook of water. And when they had sought and could not find them, they returned to Jerusalem. And it came to pass after they were departed that he came up out of the well and went and told King David and said unto David, Arise and pass quickly over the water. But has Ahithophel counseled against you. Then David arose and all the people that were with him, and they passed over Jordan by the morning. Right, there lacked not one of them that was not gone over Jordan. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he settled his ass and rose and got him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order, and hanged himself and died, and was buried in the sepulchre of his father. Then David came to Mahanaim, and Absalom passed over Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. And Absalom made Amasa captain of the host instead of Joab, which Amasa was a man's son, whose name was Ida. Idra, as an Israelite that went in the Abigail, the daughter of Nahasa, sister to Seruya, Joab's mother. So Israel and Absalom pitched in the land of Gilead. And it came to pass when David was come to Mahanaim that so be the son of Nahasa of Rabba of the children of Ammon, and Magil, the son of Amiel of Lo-debar, and Barzillai, the Gileadite of Rogelim, brought Bedos and Basanso and Eaton Beselso and Vito and Barley and Pullo and Parchid Parchid corn and beans and renatars and Parchid pulse. And the honey and butter and sheep and cheese about Cain for David and for the people that we are with him to eat. For they said the people is hungry and we early and thirsty in the wilderness. And David numbered the people that we are with him and said captains of thousands and kept tens of hundreds over them. And David sent forth also the part of the people under the hand of Joab, and also the part under the hand of Abisai, the son of Seruya, Joab's brother, and also the part under the land of Eden, the title, and the king said unto the people, I will surely go forth with you myself also. But the people answered, thou shalt not go forth, for if we flee away, they will not care for us, neither it half of us die will they care for us. But now thou art worth 10,000 of us. Therefore now it is better that thou succor us out of the city. And the king said unto him, What seems you best I will do. And the king stood by the gate side, and all the people came out by hundreds and by thousands. And the king commanded Joab and Abisai and Ittai, saying, Till gently, for my sake, with the young men, even with Absalom and all the people heard when the king gave all the captains charge concerning Absalom. So the people went out into the field against Israel, and the battle was in the wood of Ephraim, where the people of Israel were slain before the servants of David, and there was there a great slaughter that day of 20,000 men. For the battle was there scattered over the face of all the country, and the wood devour the more people did they then the sword devoured. And Absalom met the servants of David, and Absalom rode upon a mule, and the mule went under the sickle boughs of a great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the heaven and the earth, and the mule that was under him went away. And certain men saw it and told Joab and said, Behold, I saw Absalom hanged in an oak. And Joab said unto the man that told him, and behold, thou sawest him, and why did thou not smite him there to the ground? And I would have given thee 10 shekels of silver and a quarter. And the man said unto Joab, Though I should receive 1,000 shekels of silver in mine hand, yet would I not put forth my hand against the king's son. For in our hearing the king charged thee and Abisai and Ittai, saying, Beware that none touch the young man Absalom. Otherwise, I should have wrote falsehood against mine own life, for there is no matter hid from the king, and thou thyself wouldst have said thyself against me. Then said Joab, I may not tarry thus with thee. And he took 3 dark darts in his hand, and thrust them through the heart of Absalom while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak. And the young men that bear Joab's are more compatible about and smote Absalom and slew him. And Joab blew the trumpet, and the people returned from pursuing after Israel. For Joab held back the people, And they took Absalom and cast him into a great pit in the wood and laid a very great heap of stones upon him. And all Israel fled, everyone to his tent. Now Absalom in his lifetime had taken and reared up for himself a pillar which is in the king's day, for he said, I have no son to keep my name in remembrance. And he called the pillar after his own name, and it is called unto this day Absalom's praise song. Then said Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, Lemmi, and Aaron, and Beer, the king, tidings how that the Lord has been to him of his enemies. And Joab said unto him, thou shalt not bear tidings this day, but thou shalt bear tidings another day. But this day thou shalt bear no tidings, because the king's son is dead. Then said Joab to Cushi, go tell the king what thou hast seen. And Cushi bowed himself unto Joab and ran. Then he said, Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, yet again to Joab, but howsoever let me, I pray thee, also run after Cushi. And Joab said, wherefore wilt thou run, my son, seeing that thou hast no tidings ready? But howsoever said he, let me run. And he said unto him, run. Then Ahimaaz ran by the way of the plain and overland Cushi, and David sat between the two gates, and the watchman went up to the roof over the gate unto the wall, and lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man running around. And he watched men cried and told the king. And the king said, if he be alone, there is tidings in his mouth. And he came apace and drew near. And the watchman saw another man running, and the watchman called unto the porter, and they said, behold, another man running alone. And the king said, he also brings tidings. And the watchman said, me thinkest the running of the foremost Israelite, the running of Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok. And the king said, he is a good man, and comes with a good tidings. And Ahimaaz called and said unto the king, all is well. And he fell down to the earth upon his face before the king, and said, blessed be the Lord thy God, which has delivered up the man that lifted up the hand against my Lord the king. And the king said, is the young man Absalom safer? And Ahimaaz answered, when Joab sent the king's servant and me, thy servant, I saw a great tumult, but I knew not what it was. And the king said unto him, turn aside and stand here. And he turned aside and stood still. And behold, Cushi came, and Cushi said, tidings, my lord the king, for the Lord has avenged thee this day of all them that rose up against thee. And the king said unto Cushi, is the young man Absalom safer? And Cushi answered, the enemies of my lord the king, and all that rise against thee to do the hunter, be as that young man is. And the king was much more bold, and went up to the chamber over the gate and wept. And as he went, he said, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom, would God I had died for thee, oh Absalom, my son." And it was told Joab, behold, the king wept sore, and mourned sore for Absalom. And the victory day was turned into mourning unto all the people, for the people heard say that they how the king was grieved for his son. And the people kept them by steer, so that they into the city, as the people being ashamed steer away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, "Oh, my son Absalom, oh, Absalom, my son, my son." And Joab came into the house to the king and said, "Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives, and the lives of thy concubines." In that thou lovest thine enemies, and hatest thy friends, for thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither princes nor servants, for this day I perceive that if Absalom had arrived and or we had died this day, then it had pleased thee well. Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably unto thy servants, for I swear by the Lord, if thou go not forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night, and that will be worse unto thee than all the will that befell thee from thy youth until now. Then the king arose and sat in the gate, and they told unto all the people, saying, "Behold, the king does sit in the gate." And all the people came before the king, for Israel had fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, "The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines, and now he is fled out of the hand for Absalom." And Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now, therefore, why speak ye now word of bringing the king back? And the king David sent to Sadok and to Abiathar the priest, saying, speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, why are ye not less to bring the king back to his house, seeing it speech about all in Israel is come to the king, even to his house. Ye are my brethren, ye are my bones, and my flesh. Therefore, then are ye the rest to bring back the king. And say ye to Amasa, art the not of my bone and of my flesh, God do so to me, and more also, if to be not a captain of the house before me continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed to heart of all the men of Judah, even as to heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, return to and all the servants. So the king returned and came to Jordan, and Judah came to Gilgal to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan. And Shimei, the son of Gera, Benyamite, which was Bahurim, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there was where a servant man of Benjamin with him, and Sheba, the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons and his 20 servants with him, and they went over Jordan before the king, and they all went over ferry boat to carry over the king's household and to do what he sought good. And Shimei, the son of Gera, fell down before the king as he was come over Jordan. And they said unto the king, let not my lord impute iniquity unto me, neither to remember that which thy servant did perversely the day that my lord the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart. For thy servant thus know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first of this day of all the house of Joseph to go down to meet my lord the king. But Abisai, the son of Zeruiah, answered and said, shall not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed the Lord's anointed? And David said, what have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? Shall their enemy be put to death this day in Israel? For do not I know that I am this day king over Israel? Therefore, the king said unto Shimei, thou shalt not die. And the king swore unto him. And Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes. From the day the king departed until the day he came again in peace. And he came to peace when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king. That the king said unto him, Wherefore, when teest not thou with me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, My lord, O king, my servant deceived me, for thy servant said, I will settle me on as that I may ride thereon and go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he has stand the servant unto my lord the king, but my lord the king is as an answer of God. Do therefore what is good in thine eyes, for all of my father's house we are but dead men before my lord the king. Yet didst thou set thy servant among them that did eat at thine own table. What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou any more of thy matters? I have said, thou and Sheba divide to render. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Yea, let him take over, for as much as my lord the king is come again in peace unto his own house. And Barzillai the Gileadite came down from Golim and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now, Barzillai was a very aged man, even 40 years old, and he had provided the king of while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, How long have I to arrive that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 40 years old, and can I discount between good and evil? Can thy servant taste what I eat, or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of a sheeing man and a sheeing woman? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? And thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king, and why should the king recompense me with such a reward? Alright, thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in my own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold, thy servant Kimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Kimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee, and whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan, and when the king was come over, the king kissed Barushile and blessed him, and he returned unto his own prison. Then the king went on to Gilgal, and Kimham went on with him, and all the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half the people of Israel. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king, and said unto the king, Why have our brethren, the men of Judah, stolen thee away, and I have brought the king and his household, and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, because the king is near of kin to us. Wherefore then be ye angry for this matter. Have we eaten at all of the king's cost, or has he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, We have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more light in David than he. Why then did he despise us, that our device shall not be pressed ahead in bringing back our king? And the words of the men of Judah were pure, sir, than the words of the men of Israel. And they all happened to be their own men of Belial, whose name was Sheba, the son of Gori, or Benjamite, and he blew a trumpet and said, We have no part in David, neither have we inheritance in the son of Isai, every man to his tent, O Israel. So every man of Israel went up from after David, and followed Sheba, the son of Bigori. But the men of Judah crave unto their king from Jordan even to Jerusalem. And David came to his house at Jerusalem, and the king took the 10 women, his concubines, whom he had left to keep the house, and put them in order, and fed them, but went not in unto them. So they were shut off until the day of their death, arriving in widowhood. Then said the king to Amasa, Assemble me the men of Judah within 3 days, and be to hear presence. So Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah, but he tarried longer than the set time which he had appointed him. And David said to Abisai, "Now shall Sheba the son of Bichri do us more harm than did Absalom. Take thy Lord's servants and pursue after him, lest he get him past the cities and escape also." And they went out after him, Joab's men, and the Saito, and the Perizzites and or the mighty men, and they went out of Jerusalem to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. When they were at the great stone which is in Gibeon, Amasa went before them, and Joab's garment that he had put on was girded unto him, and upon it a girdle with a sword fastened upon his loins in the sheath thereof, and as he went forth it fell out. And Joab said to Amasa, "Art thou in Hillsong?" My brother and Joab took Amasa by the beard with the right hand to kiss him. But Amasa took no heed to the sword that was in Joab's hand, so he smote him there in the people's rib, and shed out his bowels to the ground, and struck him not again, and he died. So Joab and Abisai, his brother, pursued after Sheba the son of Bichri. And one of Joab's men stood by him and said, "He that favors Joab, and he that is for David, let him go after Joab." And Amasa wallowed in the midst of the highway. And when the man saw that all the people stood still, he removed Amasa out of the highway into the field, and cast cross upon him. When he saw that every one that came by him stood still. When he was removed out of the highway, all the people went on after Joab to pursue after Sheba the son of Bichri. And he went through all the tribes of Israel unto Abel, and to Ben Maaga, and all the Beerites, and they were gathered together, and went also after him. And they came and besieged him in Abel of Maaga. And they cast up a bank against the city, and it stood in the torrent, and all the people that were with Joab battled the wall to throw it down. Then cried a wise woman out of the city, "Here, say I pray you unto Joab, come near hither, that I may speak with thee." And when he was come near unto her, the woman said, "Art thou Joab?" And he answered, I am he. Then she said unto him, Here what is about thine handmaid? And he answered, I to hear. Then she spake, saying, They were wont to speak in old time, saying, They shall surely ask counsel at Abel, and so they ended the matter. I am one of them that are peaceful and peaceful in Israel, to seek kiss to destroy a city and mother in Israel. Why wilt thou swallow up the inheritance of the Lord? And Job answered and said, For far be it from me that I should swallow up or destroy. The matter is not so, but a man of Mount Ephraim, Sheba, the son of Bigri, by name, has lifted up his hand against the king, even against David. Deliver him only, and I will depart from the city. And the woman said unto Joab, Behold, his head shall be thrown to thee over at the wall. Then the woman went unto all the people in her wisdom, and they cut off the head of Sheba, the son of Bigri, and cast it out to Joab, and he blew a trumpet, and they retired from the sea, every man to his tent, and Joab returned to Jerusalem unto the king. Now Joab was over all the host of Israel, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Ker-Sidon and over the Peri-Sidon. And Adoram was over the tribute, and Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was a recorder, and Sheba was a scribe, and Sadok and Abiathar were the priests, and Ira also the Elita was a chief, ruled about David. Then there was for mine in the days of David 3 years, year after year, and David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, It is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, Now the Gibeonites, we are not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites. And the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his shield to the children of Israel and Judah. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, What shall I do for you, and wherewith shall I make the atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord? And they answered the king, The men that consumed us, and that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Israel. Let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the men in Gibeon of Saul, whom whom the Lord did choose, and the king said, I will give them. But the king spared Boset, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the Lord also that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. But the king looked the two sons of Suba, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Al-Muni, and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of 바로 실레 메호라사이트 사무엘하 21장 8절까지 읽어봤습니다. 이번 시간은 여기서 종료하고 뒤의 내용은 다음 시간에 계속해서 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 안녕히 계십시오.